Yo, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the FIFA Flow Podcast, guys. Welcome to another episode of Summer Football News Talks, guys. Today, we got a few games to talk about. We got four games to talk about. I was going to talk about the Juve Madrid game, but I watched like the first 20 minutes. I got tired of it, so we're not going to talk about that today. Liverpool, Bayern, Barcelona, AC Milan, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and then Inter versus Paris Saint Germain. We're going to talk about those four games, analysis, review, talk about how the teams played in terms of tactics and stuff. Then on top of that, we're going to talk about we have two PSG transfer news regarding Ousmane Dembele and Gonzalo Ramos coming to the club and how they're going to fit in tactically into the team. And on top of that, ending it off with a few other football news regarding other players. So yeah, not much today. I'm going to Europe tomorrow, so gonna make this. I don't want this podcast to be too long, maybe 30, 40 minutes, and then, yeah, as I said, in Europe we might be doing some podcasts, maybe some footy challenges like a tic tac toe, try to get the full board. I'm gonna do that at the end of this video like usual, but yeah, in Europe, like I'm not exactly sure like if I'll still be doing video or not because most of the day I'm gonna be outside. But I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe like short, like 5, 10, 15 minute videos, kind of going over a certain topic that I find very important. Like if there's a football news, like Mbappe deal. If the Mbappe deal goes on during while I'm in Europe, I'll talk about that in Europe. But if it's like something small, like if the Dembele deal falls through, I won't do a full episode on that. I won't do an episode just on that. I'll save it until I come back to Europe, but from Europe. But yeah, let's get into the video, guys. Let's get right into it. And yeah, I think uh let's just start it off with the games. I think we started off with the games. Let's talk about Liverpool Bayern, guys. Pretty good game from both sides here. Liverpool, unfortunately, they will not have the opportunity to verse Bayern yet again this season because they're in the Europa League merchants. But I mean, Liverpool Bayern, I think it was a good game for both sides here. We saw some pretty decent performances from both Bayern, of course, who are always a strong team, and also Liverpool, who've had a pretty not the best season, but I mean we still saw some a pretty good performance there. Cody Gakpo had a good game. Luis Diaz had a good game. We take a look at the lineups here. Curtis Jones, man, Curtis Jones, Bozlai, McAllister feeding in the balls into Cody Gakpo. I think that's a great midfield. Bozlai, man, he's brilliant. Midfielder who gives options. He allows options. He kind of goes more central to allow uh Andy Robertson to go down the wing a bit. Plays like those 1-2 plays to that ball into Gakpo, Gakpo to Jota, and then Gakpo makes that run in behind Jota with the 1-2 Gakpo Jota, and then easy in. That was how the Gakpo goal turned out to be. But as I said, like it's good to see like the 1-2 passes, the triangle passes here, the possession based tiki taka pass and go style from Liverpool. Great play style from Liverpool. Van Dijk getting a header off of the corner. Davies, man, Davies, actually the best left back in the world. I mean, this guy's pace was insane to block Salah off, pocketing Salah the whole game. Brilliant. Min J, man, a beast. The back line, I think he might be. I did not see much of Upa Maguire. I was gonna say Upa Meccano, but then I realized his nickname, his real name, Upa Maguire. But I did not see much of him. I wasn't really paying attention to him, but I was paying more attention to Kim. New signing, of course. I wanted to see how he did in this team, and honestly, man, he was actually really solid. Of course, defensively, but even on the ball, I think you have a more physical. I think that's what every team needs. You can't just have two strong defenders, two good defenders who are good on the ball. Like you can't have an Alaba and who's a good player on the ball. Lissandro Martinez, he's pretty decent on the ball. You can't have an Alaba and Lissandro Martinez. You can't have a Van Dijk and a Ramos. So you need to have one of each. Alaba and Van Dijk, strong center back, strong, tall center back, physical center back to push players off the ball, and then someone who's able to play from the back, who has more playing like play on the ball. Someone like you could say kind of like a more stay back CDM. Essentially, you could say that, and I think Kim is a perfect player for a team like for Bayern Munich, who have some. uh tactical like when sometimes you see them play, they sometimes have tactical areas, or like you sometimes see them play from the back a lot. And that's why there's rumors of Jan Sommer going to leave the club. I think he's a fantastic keeper. But for a team like Bayern Munich, who sometimes play from the back, they need someone who's good on the ball. That's why that you players like David De Gea getting left from the squad from United. See rumors of Jan Sommer possibly leaving Bayern Munich this summer, and yeah, I think it's just the way that football is modernized to have a possession game, whether it's up in the attack, whether it's in the midfield with the tiki taka passes like prime Barcelona and prime Real Madrid with Cruz, Modric, and Casemiro, whether it's in the back line, playing it from the left back to center back into the midfield, or like crossing it to the opposite side, switching the play from the back line. You need to have players who are good on the ball. Not every player has to be good on the ball. As I said, when it comes to two center back formation and three center back formations, you have at least one good physical physical player who like a Van Dijk, like a Sergio Ramos type player. In Bayern scenario is going to be Delict, and then you also have Kim Min Jae, who's someone who has, of course, defensive capabilities similar to Alaba, you could say, has the pace, has defensive abilities, has a physical presence, but also someone who's good on the ball, someone who has some passing vision. Of course, one of the goals that came through, I think it was to Serge Gnabry, the first goal that Bayern scored. Him and Jay, he sends the through ball. He sees Gnabry make that run in behind Trent, in behind Joel Matip, and then he sends the through ball over top, and then Gnabry, of course, he controls it, goes near post, towards Allison and the goal. So I think the team perfectly for Bayern. Great signing, and I'm just ready to see him play alongside Matthias de Ligt, man. Yeah, great combo. And as I said, I did mention earlier that with the signing of Kim and Jae, that Maguire or Upamecano would get less playing time because, like, especially after the second half of the season that he had for Bayern, absolutely dreadful. So I did say like, it might be tougher for him to get play time, especially when you have to compete for playing time against strong defenders who had an excellent season, like Matthijs de Ligt, who had an excellent season for Bayern, of course, in the Champions League against Paris Saint Germain, and also just in league games, and then also Kim Min Jae, who won the trophy, won the Serie A championship with Napoli. Great season. So when you have these two other defenders, you're competing with a spot in the team. It's going to be tough, especially after you had such a bad season as well, especially in the second half of the season. I think you had a great World Cup, and then after that, World Cup tax hit. I think World Cup tax last season was huge effect. That's why last season was like, can't really, could say, of course, it's a football season, but at the same time, you have to also argue it's like it was 80% of a full season, because like the World Cup affected so many players mentally, like it like drained them down to the ground a lot. So that's why you see a lot of teams, a lot of players in the second half didn't have the best. So yeah, as I said, in Upamecano's case, I always get confused because I want to say Upa McGuire, but then I read over here Upamecano, so I'm mixing up the names. But yeah, in Upamecano's case, in the second half, it was bad. But I mean, yeah, as I said, I didn't pay much attention to him in this game here in the highlights and stuff. But I mean, yeah, he's getting his spot back. Um, Last season Bayern did play mostly a three at the back, I believe. So I think a three at the back could work. Kim Min Jae is that central center back because he has a bit more um like abilities, technical abilities on the ball. He's better on the ball, so plays as that central center back, a bit higher up at center back in a three back formation, kind of like a CDM. And then Upa Maguire, Upamecano at that right center back, and then Matthias the left center back, or vice versa. I think a three back formation works perfectly for this team because at the same time they don't have a solid right back as well. I mean, I don't rate Pavard a lot. I don't watch him either a lot, but I think when you talk about fullbacks, Pavard is not on my list. He's not on my mind at all. So in a three back formation, I don't know how Pavard works at right back, or in a four back formation, I don't know how good he is at right back. But I think if you play in a three back formation, Upamecano, Kim Min Jae, Matthias de Ligt in those three back formations, Alfonso Davies, who yes, he's great defending, of course, in a four-back formation, but he's excellent in the attack, always running down those wings. His pace is you need to use his pace. You need to you need to use pace because he's just different going down those lines to give those through balls in behind, very similar to Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior. So you need to use his pace. You need to utilize his pace, Alphonso Davies' pace, not even his pace, just in the attack overall, to get in behind and then cross it into the box. His attacking capabilities, Alphonso Davies, brilliant, very very underrated compared to other fullbacks these days. João Cancelo, yes, João Cancelo is a top left back, but when you talk about in the attack, I feel like Alphonso Davies. When you talk about purely an attacking fullback, Alphonso Davies is the best attacking fullback, in my opinion. So in terms of creative fullback, someone who goes down the wing to do like tiki taka. Like, if you talk about a Jordi Alba fullback, I would say like Cancelo is the best option there, and that's why there's rumors of him going to Bayern or to Barcelona. But when you talk about a Marcelo left back, a Marcelo type fullback, an attacking fullback, Davies, man, he's the best option there, the best similarity option there for an a pure attacking fullback. So that's why I say a three-back formation, most efficient formation for Bayern Munich. Kim Min-jae, Upamecano, who gets more playing time to hopefully redeem himself from the second half of last season. Then Matthijs de Ligt, and then Davies at that more left mid position, who has defensive abilities but also is utilized in the attack a lot. Serge Gnabry in that. Let's say they use a three. I don't know, a 3-5-2. Then they do Davies on the left. I guess you could do Musiala, Cam, Kimmich, and I don't know who else there's CDM. Kimmich, Goretzka in those two CDM spots. And then at right mid, you do, I don't know, Coleman, Leroy Sané. As I said, Cam, Musiala, and then the two attacks you put. I think moving a Serge Gnabry to attack wouldn't be bad. The only problem I see here with Bayern Munich this season, they might not have a lethal striker. Of course, they got rid of what's his name, Sadio Mane, moved to Al Nassr. So I think testing out Serge Gnabry, even Leroy Sané. I think Coleman would be good in attack. Yes, he's kind of a winger, but I think like because they don't have any other like pure strikers. I mean, I think he's English. I think I've seen a few of his highlights and he's pretty decent. But yes, Coleman is a left. Like they don't have a pure striker, a pure lethal goal finisher like a Darwin Nunez, a Vlahovic, Gonzalo Ramos, Kolomuani and stuff. Mbappe, Benzema. They don't have someone like that. Of course, they lost Lewandowski last season. He left to Bayern or to Barcelona. They do have wingers though who are decent as strikers. So when you talk about if you're playing a 3-5-2, who's your left mid is Davies. Who's your right mid? You have Sané, Gnabry, or Goretzka. If you choose one of them there, I think the other two are options for your striker. I think that's the best option. I think Coleman is going to be the more viable one at striker. I think the one who's most common to see at striker. I think he has him and Gnabry. I think Sané is better as a right mid. I think Gnabry and Serge Gnabry and Kingsley Coleman are probably the best strikers, the best finishers, the best goal scoring finishers they currently have because they don't really have another player like another goal scoring lethal finisher for them right now this season. So that's my thoughts there on Bayern. As I said, not a full game analysis, but just overall, yeah, as I said, Liverpool had a pretty solid game. DVD man getting back to his shape, back to his prime 2019, 2018, 2020 days, back to his prime days. Yeah, after that UCL final against Madrid last season, the nutmeg from Valverde, DVD turned like I don't know what happened to him. And Marquinhos as well. I literally don't know what happened to them. They got outdone, the Madrid effect. But yeah, VVD looked like he got back into shape in terms of a physical presence, a solid beast of a defender. Robertson and Trent Alexander, like always in the attack, always push up into that midfield zone because, of course, Robertson being I think he's the most assisted player, like fullback in Prem history. So maybe not even in Prem history. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Robertson. Yeah, here. So Robertson, yeah, of course, he has the most assists as a fullback, and I think Trent is starting to be player similar who pushes up. Maybe not assists in generally, but sending those through balls in behind, whether it's him switching up the play, sending across into Jota, sending a over the top through ball into Salah. Trent and Robertson are one of the best players in the world to do those to see those through balls, to switch up the play, the pings, the crosses. So yeah, I mean, I saw them a lot during the highlights, so I just want to note that out. And as I said, the midfield as well, McAllister, perfect player. He had the link up with him on the right side with Salah to do those 1-2 plays, and then same with Szoboszlai, Jota, and Gakpo. Brilliant gameplay there from the left hand side here as well. That is the Liverpool Bayern game. Let's go to the Barcelona AC Milan game. This game is not the best game. I didn't really like. Yeah, of course. I think both teams didn't play the best, but I think it was more of a game where, of course, it's a friendly for a reason. I think it was more of a game where both sides were kind of testing out new players. Maybe not so much for Barcelona. Of course, Barcelona mainly of their main squad with having Marcos Alonso, Eric Garcia, Kunde, and Araujo playing right back a lot of the whole game, man. I just see Araujo up here, man, in this right spot. Everyone's saying, "Oh, like Barca's defense sucked this game." Rafael Leao was like pocketing Araujo because like kept on beating Araujo, but that's because half the time Araujo was so high up on the pitch as a fullback that Rafael Leao had all this free space. So I'm not blaming either of them. I'm not saying Leao dominated Araujo. I'm not saying Araujo did bad. It's just a friendly. They had fun. They were testing out a new format. But yeah, Araujo, man, stick to center back. Stick to central center back. Pedri, brilliant. Rafinha, brilliant. Torres, I think he was good. What I liked seeing about this Barcelona game, as I said, it was a way for both teams to test out new players. And Ansu Fati, man, getting back into action. He scored a brilliant goal. Even not just the goal that he scored, it was a brilliant curl outside foot shot or outside box shot, far post. Brilliant goal. But it's not just that goal. It was his whole performance when he got subbed on. Brilliant performance. Going down the wing, his dribbling. There was one moment where it was crossed in by I don't know who it was. I think it was Balde who ran down the wing to the byline, passed it in, and it was Ansu Fati who touched the ball to try to hit a near post, and it was Lewandowski who is wide open, clear open, no one marking him. Magnan was more on the left side here, so this whole right side of the net was open, and if it went to Lewandowski, he goal in. And I think that's the place where Ansu Fati can still learn how to kind of read the play. He like know where his teammates are, because if he had known that Lewandowski is there, the perfect decision there was for Ansu Fati to let the ball, dummy the ball through his legs, open Lewandowski clear, Magnan on the left side, whole right side of the net open, and it's just easy. Of course, Lewandowski easy touch into the opposite side of the net. So that's where Ansu Fati, like I think technical ability, he of course overall as a player he can improve compared to Vinny. You see Vinny Ansu Fati like back in 2019 stuff. Everyone was like, oh, who's the better one, and they were so bad as well. Vinny suddenly he got that huge. Now he's like the best left winger in the world. Back then he wasn't rated that much. So I think Ansu Fati, injuries hurt Ansu Fati a lot, but he needs to start developing. He's gonna some point hopefully get to a level like Vinicius Jr. And I think he has. I think compared to young Vinny, when Vinny was also bad, when both of them were pretty bad, when there was a debate between both of them, you could say Ansu Fati was better as well, and he is better now. Like when I compare young Vinny and the young Ansu Fati, like Vinny from a few years ago when he was bad, I would say that Ansu Fati right now is better than Vinny back then. And of course, you can't really say like, oh, but you're comparing a few years later to a few years before. But at the same time, you can say Ansu Fati didn't get as much play time as like he didn't get as much development time because he was injured most of his career, most of his like the past 2 years. So as in a term of oh, like Ansu Fati didn't get as much development as Vinny Jr. because he was injured. I think like Ansu Fati is the better player. I think now that he's come out of recovery, now he's gonna get much more development than he did before because he was injured, and then hopefully he's gonna get to a better play style, in terms of reading the play, we're reading where his teammates are, in terms of dummying that ball, in terms of technical ability, dribbling the ball, his step overs, in terms of finding a teammate, pass and go, getting behind, 1-2 play styles. I think he's gonna develop those skills, but injuries hurt him. He didn't get, compared to like the development progress, injured most of his time. So you can essentially say that he's the same player he was back then. That's why I'm saying I'm comparing the current Ansu Fati to a Vinny from before. So, but yeah, overall great game. I think, yeah, from Barca's side, great to see new players. This Romeo guy, man, this guy here, this bald guy here, Girona, I believe the name of the club is. I'd say the Zinedine Zidane 2.0, man. This guy is an absolute, as a CDM, not just as a CDM, like even as a midfielder. He goes up in the attack. He has like, maybe of course there's better players like Frank Kessié in that CDM spot, but in terms of a physical presence, in terms of a height presence, the pass and go, he knows how to play like a pass and go style, and I think great signing. Everyone doubted him at first. They were all memeing him and stuff, but I think great, absolute beast of a signing. From the preseason, man, he's had a killer preseason. So I'm gonna keep my eye on him during the season. Go on to El Clasico, guys. We're gonna talk about the El Clasico and go on and talk about Inter, and then regarding, and then also tactical scenarios. Actually, let's bring this here because regarding the Barcelona Madrid game. So Barca Madrid, great game, of course. Barca dominating Madrid, but at the same time, Madrid had a brilliant game as well. Both sides had a brilliant game. 29 shots versus 12, and they got 0 goals. 5 shots on target, 7 shots. And you can see the whole game, man. Madrid dominating in terms of possession. Unfortunately, they just couldn't have a lethal finisher. That's what the problem they have right now. Joselu, Vinny, as much as he's very calm on the ball, a lot of the time when he's on the ball, not a lethal, narrow, like he's not a striker here. Yes, they're playing a 4-1-2-2, but can't play as a striker like Mbappe, like a Benzema, like a Lewandowski. So in terms of what do Madrid need? They need a striker. So and Mbappe is necessary. How does he fit in this team? Valverde slides into that right back position. Jude Bellingham slides into this right center mid position, blocks the box, and then you put Mbappe as this nice number 9 here, and then play a 4-3-3. Let's say. I think that he fits in perfectly there. Um, Take a look at the Barca team. So yeah, let's say like take a look at the Madrid, how Madrid would play. Uh, Take a look, Vinny here. Vinny is more of a player who, like, we move these players up, let's say, as if they're in a match. Midfield here. Here's your back line. Oh. Vinny is a player who's more on this left side. And yes, he does make runs that go in behind. Like he makes runs over here, and then you see Cruz, or you see uh Modric making a pass in, of course. But and also a lot of the time you see many times where you see you see many times where Vinny, he goes around the player, like I don't know, he goes over here and then he's just calm, and then he just calm, and then he just curls it around. But he's not a player who who not a number 9 essentially, not a lethal striker. He's a player who runs in behind, goes in on an angle. He's more of an angle player because he wants to make dribbles. He dribbles, like step overs over here to get in behind, squeezes in between the defense, and then it's a goal. Curls it around the keeper, near post, or a keeper. Not a lethal striker. Um, when you talk about Mbappe as well, the same goes with Mbappe. But what Mbappe offers is Mbappe fits perfectly in the Madrid team. Maybe not for Mbappe, maybe not personally for Mbappe, but in terms of the way Mbappe plays, because a lot of the time you see Benzema. Benzema is not a fast player. He's more of a player who plays more like as a false 9. And because of the way Benzema plays, you see a lot of the time the opposing team higher up. But when you have Mbappe, when you have the explosiveness, the running, what Mbappe offers is the pace to get in behind over here. Either running in over here, he switches, goes to the left side here, and then kind of switches plays. Like you see, Vinny makes this diagonal run over here. Over here, you see, Mbappe goes to his spot over here. Vinny makes this diagonal run. He passes the ball to Mbappe, makes the run. Mbappe dribbling with the ball and then sends a through ball. So Vinny, like you're gonna see a lot of the time, if Mbappe plays in that number 9, he's gonna drift wide, and you'll see kind of switching plays, doing 1-2 plays, getting in behind, pace runs in behind with Vinny, 1-2s. You're gonna see this a lot of the time next season. If Mbappe plays, he's gonna cut inside and he's gonna kind of move out wide into that left wing position and switch places with Vinny. So, but at the same time, what Mbappe offers, as I said, explosive runs in behind the defense. And because of these explosive runs, instead of the back line being over here, that's a very bad line, but instead of the back line being over here, back line is going to be more back over here, more of a defensive back line. Because now Mbappe, like if he tries to run in behind, is like more defenders in the box, so it's harder to squeeze his way into the find a way into the goal. Like he's not gonna have as much time to kind of like get what I mean. If the back line was over here, he makes a run in behind, he's gonna have more time to more calmness on the ball. But if the back line is over here, if he receives the ball over here, he's gonna have to rush. He's gonna have less touches, one-time touches, like a quick turn is gonna be more of that type. He's not gonna have time to do more dribbles like he wants to and stuff. He's gonna have less touches on the ball. But with Mbappe, as I said, with Mbappe, it pushes the backline back, and it allows for more play style. It allows for his team to push up much more, whether it's with the attackers or even the fullbacks as well. Allow much more for this. It's going to allow for Vinny to have all of this free space over here, because essentially before, Vinny wouldn't have. He'd have to make runs in behind. But now, Vinny's going to have all this free space to dribble and stuff, cut more, like make more angled runs and curl it outside the box, curl this outside the box. He's going to have more freedom on the side over here. And then the fullbacks, you're going to see the fullbacks come up, you're going to see this come up, and then they're going to do a lot of 1-2s and stuff. And then Mbappe making this run over here. So you're going to see a lot of this, a more pushed back line, but at the same time, a more freedom in this midfield zone over here. This fullback is going to be pushed back more over here, block Mbappe from getting into the box, making runs in behind, but then more freedom over here, whether it's for Vinny, whether it's for an attacking fullback. So that's what Mbappe offers. It offers explosiveness, but because of that explosiveness, at the same time, it pushes the fullbacks, it pushes the back line, the defense of the opposing team more back into their box, and allows for more open space, whether it's for passes, whether it's for more long shots. So I think Mbappe fits perfectly. As I said, what we're going to see Mbappe going to Madrid, a lot of him going out wide, switching plays with Vinny, where Vinny goes more central and Mbappe out wide, because Mbappe is not a player who wants to have less touches as a false 9 to Mbappe is not a player who's just there as a pivot point. Mbappe wants to be a complete player, whether it's to make dribbles, even on and off the ball with Mbappe. Like off the ball, as I said, off the ball, even if Mbappe doesn't have the ball, this back line is forced to stay back here. That's how scared they are for Mbappe making those runs in behind. They have to stay more back because they know if they're all the way up here, if Benzema is here, oh, they're fine up here. They'll catch up to Benzema. But if Mbappe is here, if they're all the way up here as well, they know Mbappe's speed is gonna kill them. So they have to play more back, and because of them playing more back, all this open space. So yeah, I think Mbappe. That's the only problem I see. I think he fits the Madrid like play style perfectly in terms of making this open space here to allow for more like pass and go type play styles. But at the same time, for Mbappe as a player, not gonna like it much. A lot of the time, you're gonna go out wide to become more of a skiller, a dribbler, and then play similar to Vinny Jr. how he does this season. So yeah, I think in terms of that, I think might be a problem. But you see the same thing with in this game as well. A lot of the time, Vinny Jr. I don't think Vinny Jr. is a player who can play central a lot of the time. So So because of that, I think you're gonna still see Vinny play out wide, and Mbappe is gonna be forced to play more central. Even though Mbappe is not a player who wants to play central, he's gonna be forced to play more central. But I think it's still gonna work out. You see a lot of the time you see Vinny cut inside. I think you're gonna see a lot of 1-2 plays where he um Mbappe here. You see Vinny cutting, like making the diagonal run into the box, pass over here, run in behind, and then pass back, and then a goal far post. I think that in terms of, is gonna Mbappe gonna help a lot in terms of goal scoring? I think yes. But is he gonna score goals? I think he's still gonna score goals, but I think not as much because he's gonna be more of a false nine because of the other players that Madrid have. You take a look at the game that Vinny had today. He's not Vinny had today, even against Barcelona. He's not a central striker. He has to play on the right, making those diagonal runs, making those 1-2, and get far poster, getting a touch. He has to play like that. You see a lot of time with Benzema as well. He makes a run in behind, does a 1-2 with Benzema, or he cuts inside. Benzema gets a one touch into the box. Fortunately, Mbappe is gonna have to kind of switch his playstyle to a false nine, a kind of a central striker. As much as he wants to be a striker, I think most of the season is a central striker. Sure. But yeah, Barcelona, they killed it. Of course, Dembele going down that wing. I can't wait to. I think he's offer a lot. As a PSG fan, I think he could play as striker. Dembele, man, I think he has the finishing capabilities. When you take a look at the current PSG team and the rumors and stuff, we want to get Gonzalo Ramos, but I think Dembele, man, I think he offers good attack and good. Like I guarantee, most of the times Dembele is in the attack, we're gonna get a goal from him. I think his striking ability, his goal scoring ability is lethal. It's really, really good. It's very underrated compared to like in a narrow sense, like in a narrow form. When you're talking about who's a winger who's better in narrow formations, Dembele is better than Vinny. Vinny cannot play narrow. He has to play out wide. But Dembele can play both out wide, cross it in, or he can go cut inside, be kind of like a striker, getting behind striker type player, cut inside from the left wing, go into that striker role. I think Dembele is better at cutting inside and becoming a striker rather than. But yeah, that's just my opinion there. Great game. As I said, yeah, Pedri, Dembele, Lewandowski, Gundogan, and Pedri, man. The link up here and De Jong as that physical CDM. You see, sometimes he goes to the center back spot as well. Romeu as well. Brilliant game from him. As I said, he's very underrated. I've seen him a lot in the preseason, and he's fantastic in terms of being a physical presence, a defensive presence in terms of his height, able to get the ball back quickly and then quickly pass it. He finds a free space. He says, like he's not on the ball a lot. He takes his chances when up here. He pushes up here and takes a shot. But a lot of the time, you also see, let me move the ball quickly. He moves the ball. He finds all options, and he's good at that. You don't always need someone who's like a Pedri, a Messi. You don't need someone good at dribbling all the time in that midfield. A Modric, a Messi, Marco Verratti who dribbles a lot. You need someone who's able to can you just find options? Are you just good at if you're good at passing, you can easily go into the Barcelona team because you find the option quickly, like do some feints, maybe like feint to the right, feint to the left. But the main purpose of the main skill, the main attribute you need for the Barcelona team is the ability to know where your team is, to find the open space, to find the passing areas, passing lanes. That's what you need in a Barcelona team. And Romeu, a lot of people memed him, like they said, he's bad. They got the wrong Zidane, but he offered some physical presence. Maybe he's not the best midfielder compared to like a Bernardo Silva and stuff in the Barcelona team. Bernardo Silva would easily be clear of Romeo, but he's really good. I did not expect him to be this good, especially against Madrid as well. He was solid. So that is that. Inter Milan PSG, man, this is the first time in a while I've seen play good football. Similar to Barcelona, the pass and get the pass and go, the tiki taka football style. Garte, man, this guy is brilliant, man. What he solid in defense and in the attack as well. His ability, balls, his vision, passes, brilliant from Ugarte. So I think he's a great youngster player. Warren Zaire Emery, man, he's starting to make a name for himself into that midfield spot. Where he actually a solid player, man. I love him a lot. The youngster, of course, I think he's 18 or 17 or 18 years old, or 19 years old. Definitely not 20. 19 or 18 years old. Brilliant, brilliant player. As I said, with the what's his name? Not Luis Enrique. No, it is Enrique. But the Luis Enrique effect, a lot more pass and goal play style. Asensio, the Warren Zaire Emery. Not it's not exactly like 1-2, but see that the team is always looking for open space and options. In the attack, a lot you see we have our whole midfield over here, whole time. Carlos Soler on this right side here, Vitinha on this left side here, Asensio in the striker role, and then you see have Warrenzer, Emery, Ugarte, Fabian Ruiz, Hernandez over here, Hakimi here. A five mid. We're essentially playing the exact formation that Inter were playing. We had five midfielders because our team pushes up to allow for more passing options, and that's what I like to see. Pass and go play style, not essentially 1-2 play styles, but able to if we're stuck over here, if we can't find a way into the box, just don't worry. Find the option back. Lucas Hernandez is gonna push up. You have an option there. Then you have a Warrenzer, Emery, Fabian Ruiz in the central area here. Pass it over here. Pass it more central. Switch up the play. Go to Hakimi. Hakimi makes a run. Or you see Carlos Soler here. He doesn't have the ability to go into the box. So he passes back to Lucas Hernandez, who pushes up over here. Passes to Ugarte, pushes up onto this into this midfield area, and then Asensio makes a run in behind Ugarte with the trip over, and it's a goal or it's a shot on target. So what I'd like to see, and what I'm really liking about the new way that PSG are playing, I think we of course there's definitely many other players who can offer more to the team, but like a Mbappe would be good. A Lewandowski as a pure number 9 and stuff, as a lethal striker. A Vinicius Junior on the wing and stuff. But in terms of the play style, I'm liking the players. Ugarte, he's still pretty solid. Warrenzer, Emery, Fabian Ruiz. I love Fabian Ruiz. I hate Carlos Soler, but Fabian Ruiz, solid center mid. A lot of players hating him. PSG fans as well, but maybe not PSG fans, but a lot of other like people criticize him a lot. As a PSG fan, I highly rate Fabian Ruiz. He has the height, he has the physicality, and he has like the passing. His passing is good. His vision passes are really good, and with the way that PSG are playing in terms of finding open space, having a passing options and a pass and go play style that Enrique likes to play, like a prime Barcelona play style. Fabian Ruiz is a great player to offer those passing abilities in a team like PSG, in a team that plays in a Barcelona pass and go tiki taka system. So I like the way PSG play. Brilliant, brilliant football. But Asensio, man, yes, he's really good at getting in behind. He had a few good chances, but we need Gonzalo Ramos. It's someone who's. I think there's other options. I think I'd rather take Kolumani over Gonzalo Ramos. He had a decent season as well. Brilliant World Cup, scored a hat trick. The replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo, and he scored a hat trick. So he has some technical ability. He has a goal scoring ability as well. But um, I'd rather take a Kolumani, but he's still a good option. I think from what else there is on the market, I think he's a good option. I think I'd rather take a Vlahovic, but I think like we need the chemistry as well. Gonzalo Ramos with Luis Campos, our sporting director, Vitinha as well. The Portuguese there, Danilo Pereira. So he's gonna kind of fit in the team quite well. Bruno Mensch, so young as well. So it's not essentially like should we get a Vlahovic? Do we get a Lukaku who's on the market right now? No, because then we're gonna have to find another player next year. Gonzalo Ramos is a young player who we're gonna have for a while as well. He's a player who's gonna we're building for the future essentially. Say this season, this year are building for the future. Not essentially a team who wants to win the Champions League, but a young team we're gonna develop and then build for the future. That's why we're getting young players. So Gonzalo Ramos, great player. He's young as well. Um, but yeah, I think he's gonna fit perfect into the number false 9. You can say that's what we need. Same with Dembele. I think Dembele And how would we play essentially? I think we play exactly how we're playing right now. Hakimi, Marquinhos, Milan Skriniar, and Nun Mensch at left back, Donnarumma in net. Then I think in the midfield we'd do Verratti as that midfielder over here, the central midfielder. I would do Warren Zaire-Emery as the right center mid, and then Fabian Ruiz. I'd still start him over Ugarte. I would start Verratti, Warren Zaire-Emery, and Fabian Ruiz. Maybe not start Warren Zaire-Emery every game. I think I'd rather take in Danilo Pereira. Danilo Pereira as that CM, that central one. Verratti as a right center mid. Fabian Ruiz as a left center mid. And then Asensio left wing. Dembele right wing and Gonzalo Ramos striker. But then like you rotate the team. That's why you rotate the team. You have options like Warren Zaire-Emery, Ugarte, Vitinha in that midfield, or Carlos Soler in that midfield. Options like Vitinha at right wing. Options like Lucas Hernandez either at left back or a replacement at center back. Hang in Lee, you have him. You have a rotational squad. So I think that's I like how we're having more options. Ugarte, yes, he's young. Warren Zaire-Emery, yes, he's young, but they're offering quite a lot to the other options we have. These players are doing their best that they can, and it's great. It's really great. So like if we had a Bernardo Silva and I'm saying like, oh, we're not starting Bernardo Silva, we're starting Warren Zaire-Emery, I'd say that this team sucks. But with the options that we have, with the other players that we have, with the economical situation we're in, with the players that we have, I like the way we're moving. And I don't hate our youngsters. I love our youngsters. Our youngsters at PSG, brilliant. They are the club's future. So that is that for PSG. There, Ramos, Romelu Lukaku, and Juventus have an agreement in place over a 3-year deal with option for further season. Juventus keep swap deal with Chelsea, including 40 million fee. Still waiting for Chelsea to decide on Vlahovic. Chelsea, what are you doing, man? Take that deal 100%. Do not take Rick Lukaku, man. Do not keep Rick Lukaku. Vlahovic is a fabulous striker. I think last season, in the first half of the season, a lethal striker for that Juve team. I don't know what happened after in the second half. He didn't get as much play time. I think he did as well. He kind of just fell off. But at the same time, that was just the whole Juve team that fell off. If you put Vlahovic, solid system, and I think Chelsea are rebuilding their system with Christopher and the plays that the through balls that Vlahovic is get are gonna be great, especially when you have Nkunku behind you, Caicedo in that CD spot. Who else did Chelsea have? Chelsea players: Reece James, Hudson-Odoi, Hakim Ziyech, Gallagher. I think he's a great player as well. Raheem Aubameyang, Mason Mount. Oh no, he went. Enzo Fernandez. Imagine having through balls in by Enzo Fernandez, and I think that's what Vlahovic doesn't have. That he didn't really have that. He needs a team who's similar to Man City's playstyle in terms of and getting through balls in. I think Nkunku is a perfect. I think the closest thing you're gonna see Chelsea team compared to KDB in terms of a playmaker, Nkunku. I think he's a brilliant player. He's gonna offer a lot. Mudryk, I think he's great. He just needs more playing time as well. The link up with stuff. Vlahovic and that cam spot. Vlahovic as striker. Mudryk left wing. Sterling right wing. And then Enzo and Caicedo in a 4-3-3 with the cam is going to be brilliant. Feeding in those balls to either out wide to Mudryk crossing into Vlahovic, uh, whether it's to the right side, whether it's Nkunku making a run in and inserting himself from out wide, making a dribble in, whether it's sending an over top through ball into Vlahovic and Vlahovic as a lethal striker like a Lewandowski false 9 type player. I think Vlahovic fits in perfectly. Young as well, so he's going to be there for a while. And as I said, he just needs a better system to play in. Lukaku, man, he's not going to play in Chelsea's system. Vlahovic is he's great. I think Vlahovic is great. He's just more playing time and a good system. And I think with the way that Chelsea are moving this season, everyone said last season the same thing, but I think it's different. And Kuku, man, I like he's much You take a look. You had Mason Mount as your goal scoring, your assisting player. You had Mason Mount as your pivot player, the one who feeding in the balls. Mason Pound. I think and a much clearer player in terms of making goal scoring abilities, passing and stuff, on the ball abilities, feeding those balls into Vlahovic. Brilliant there. So that is that. Ramos deal. Yeah, there's. We're not going to talk about Ramos. That wasn't from Fabrizio, so we can't trust that. But Fabrizio, in case of Ousmane Dembele leaves Barca, which is happening apparently today, a lot of I think it's almost confirmed, like 95% confirmed. If Dembele leaves Barca and accepts PSG move, part of the budget could be used for a new right back with João Cancelo as a top priority. João Cancelo, he wants to leave as well because I think he get as much playing time as he would, but I think he's gonna fit every game. Valde left back, and Araujo in those central center backs, and Cancelo, him going up the pitch, playing that pass and go play style. Brilliant for João Cancelo. So I think he fits well in the Bentley in the pass and go system. But that is that. That is the football news today, guys. Not the best, not the best. I think these podcast episodes analyzing. Let's go ahead and end off with a tic tac toe. European football. Okay, let's start it off. Bayern City. So a player who played for Man City, Bayern. What in the world? Is that even a Bayern? We'll come back to that. Bayern, Juventus, Kostic. Ah man, I have to search. What's what's his first? Filip Kostic. Bruh, who else is there? Perisic. Perisic. There is Ivan Perisic. No, bro. Oh yeah, he plays. Okay. Kostic, man. Why can't I do Kostic? Come on, negative ball knowledge. Like, did he not play or something? Okay, United City. Damn, snake man. Tevez. Okay, what's another one? Pogba. United Inter. Lukaku. Portugal City. Bernardo Silva. Portugal Juve. Portugal as well. Bayern City. I still need Bayern City and then Bayern Juve. I kind of want to redo my Bayern Inter. I thought that Perisic played for Juve, so that's technically kind of helped. Let's just take a look. Did he play for Juve and Bayern? He played for Frankfurt as well, so negative ball knowledge kicking, guys. Delict, bro. Delict. Delict. Negative ball knowledge here, kicking in. Bayern Inter. Bayern Inter. Mandzukic, man. Oh, he played, yeah, man. As well. Negative ball knowledge kicking. Bayern City. Bayern Inter. Bayern City. Ronaldo here. Portugal Inter. Who's Portugal? Negative ball knowledge. We'll do another one. Portugal, Inter. That's a goalkeeper. Was it a goalkeeper? Figo. Didn't Figo play for Inter, man? Pretty sure Figo played for. Went from Madrid to Barca, and then I think he went to Japan. Yeah, of his career goes there. But I thought was it Rui Pat? He played for Roma. Rui Mar. Oh, Cancelo. I guess Cancelo works there. You could say Cancelo. I can even show you guys. Cancelo. Yeah, Figo works there. I was thinking like, yeah, Figo works there. Take a look at Cancelo. Played there when he was younger. Than on loan as well. So Cancelo, we would get this. Figo as well. Yeah, Bayern and City, and then Bayern Inter. I did not know. Is did Bayern Mateus Lothar Mateus for Bayern Inter, man. I was packed it up. Or no, I think I packed it up to go to Europe. Mateus, Lothar Mateus, Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. João Cancelo or Luis Figo is the Portuguese Inter. And then Bayern City player. Who's a Bayern City player? Leroy Sané, man. Negative. See, when you're doing the game, you kind of get stressed. One more. All right. Two answers. Copyright. Let's try to do one more. We'll do it against an opponent as well. Why not? Anti-cheat as well. Without steals. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do it first to three, guys. Just for the fun of the video. Let's go first to three. If we can, they find opponents faster. What the heck is this? I don't want to see. Okay, Lazio, man. Lazio, ball knowledge. My turn. Okay, we'll just go here. Yeah. Big Croatia. We'll go Perisic. This guy takes that spot. Then we'll go. I have to skip. Bayern, okay, Lazio, Argentina. Lazio, Argentina. Why do I feel like Tevez played at Lazio? Didn't, man. Negative ball knowledge at its finest, guys. Negative. Veron, man. Bro, I don't know Serie A. I don't watch Serie A. Barcelona, France. Go easy, man. See my easy ball knowledge. I'm going to stuff. Of course. Dembele. I'm going to go in the middle, right? Liverpool, Croatia. Barcelona. Yeah, he didn't go. Rakitic there. Serbian Barcelona. Who's Barcelona there? Serbian Barcelona there. Is that even a thing? Negative ball knowledge, man, at its finest. Hit again. Let's just go block him off real quick over here with over block him off. He has to take that middle spot now. Barcelona Serbian, man. You think of a Barcelona Serbian player. My negative ball knowledge. Kostic didn't. Vlahovic, no. This has got to be some absolute from the streets, man. This guy's got to be from the
Beats Barcelona and bruh. No ways this guy knows this player. Ivanovic. Oh yeah, Ivanovic. Ah man, I guess it's fair play. He doesn't even. Oh yeah, guys, our negative ball now showed. I'm tired as well, bro. I took a nap before I decided to come do a podcast. I'm tired and stuff. You know when you wake up from a nap. When you wake up from a nap, it's worse than waking. You're more. You feel more tired than when you wake up after you wake up in the morning. Barcelona. But nah, this guy. Oh, poor Jean, man. The next Messi. Who's this guy here, Mateus? Because this guy is someone else, man. This one you have to have like this. You have to be from. You guys are from the streets, man. Streets. Yeah, no ways I would have got that. Anyways, guys, that's gonna end off the podcast today. Could have been better, of course, better, but yeah, that's gonna end it off. We're going to Europe. Hopefully, we can do some more footy. Maybe we'll do more of those footy tic tac toe. Now that I know you can play against other online opponents, maybe when we're in Europe, we'll do like 5-10 minute videos of footy tic tac toe. But yeah, that's gonna end it off. If you guys enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Thank you so much for 50 subscribers as well, guys. We hit 50 subscribers on the podcast. Subscribers, so thank you. I'm hoping we I'm planning. I have some plans, big plans in the next month. So stay tuned for that. Big plans. As I said today, not the best episode. Go watch the last two episodes. A lot more analysis and review on in depth about PSG players and analysis on other football news. But yeah, I tried my best to talk. As I said, I woke up tired, like a nap. But yeah, that's gonna end off the episode. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Now stay flow, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you later. Peace. Have a good one.